Even for those of us who have all our senses intact, gardening can be a difficult and frustrating business. Pests and diseases decimate our crops, and the results of months of hard work can often be laid waste in a single gale. But at least we can see what's happening and take the necessary action. Ernie Watkinson, who's a sprightly 72-year-old from Bamber Bridge, can't see what's happening because he's totally blind. And yet his vegetables would be the envy of most of us. Earlier in the week, Mr. Watkinson took me on a tour of his garden.
I've been blind now for 25 years.
And when you went blind, did you ever think of giving up gardening?
No. I kept on going on. Because it was my job before I went blind, you see, gardening.
And was it your hobby as well?
That's right.
The more I think about it, being blind and being a gardener, the more difficulties I can see. Let's start with the basic material, the soil. Now, how do you care for your soil? How do you know when it needs fertiliser and all the rest of it?
Well, I know it wants some manure, and I give it so much every year. And then I feed plants as they're growing, you see.
And what do you feed them on when they're growing?
Well, I've made that in manure tank to grow more and make that a liquid tank. That's what you want to keep them going, that's safe at battle.
What kind of things do you actually concentrate on in your garden? What do you grow most of?
Well, vegetables for kitchen.
And I suppose you enjoy eating those straight from the garden?
Oh, the ground.
Well, let's look at one or two of your crops in particular. They're very impressive, and I'm certainly envious of your results, and I can see what I'm doing. What about potatoes? How do you tackle those? How can you actually find out where the beds are going to be and how wide they are?
Well, I know where I'm bound to put things, you see, because I have to do that with a little garden, keep changing over. You see, cabbage one time, beetroot, potatoes, and then switch back, then I wouldn't have to root, you see.
So you rotate your crops to avoid disease?
I have to do. We only been a little garden, you see.
But how do you go on? I mean, your rows look as straight as any sighted gardener. How do you find out how wide the bed's going to be? And
well, I measure them with spade width, and then I put my string and my stake and goes with that, you see.
You've got some bunny onions up at the top of the garden. Are these grown from sets or are they from seed?
From seed.
And what's the secret? They're like footballs.
Oh, well, you keep feeding, and they're a good breed. You know Tom Fenton, don't you? From Wheaton, loves his breed. They come off him.
How long have you been using that one onion bed? Because I believe you've got to have the same bed and build it up year after year.
Well, I'm only just starting with them big onions. I've been going 2 years. They say it takes about 5 or 6 years to get going. And someone says, them with biggest feet grows biggest onions. Well, hey, my feet's not that big, are they?
When do you start preparing the bed, though? I mean, often gardeners are criticised because, you know, we start at the last minute and expect...
well, that's no good. Start at back end when you... October's time to start making your onion bed.
And what do you actually do? How do you prepare it?
Plenty of manure on. That yon bed had pigeon manure, about 300 weight on yon bed.
On that one bed?
Alright.
And this is the kind of quantities you need?
And I dug it. And then I put manure up top and left it up top while about January. And let it work itself and then work in, you see.
And then you tilt it up in the spring?
That's right. But I'm going to change this next time and make it bed a different shape, you see. Well, every night, onions are outside at bed and they're bad to water and feed. Well, next time I'm going to pull a bit out at middle of each side at bed and then plant onions at B. And then feed and water will stop there. I'm not let's say in trouble. And I'll have onions twice as big.
Now, over on the left, you've got the remains of what you told me used to be a pigsty. You've got some marrows in there. Now, they're very big, healthy marrows. But what do you do with the marrow? What's the best way to eat it?
Oh, well, you cut them in two, take middle out, stuff them with some sausage meat or minced beef. And you know when you've took your roasted meat out at Sunday, just lift your meat out and put them in and cook them in there. Oh, they're tattle. They're good.
It sounds delicious.
Oh, they are good.
Now, I notice you've got some very healthy French beans, and many of those of us who live further higher up in the hills around Burnley and Nelson and Darwin find French beans very, very difficult. Have you started those from seed in the bed?
From seed in the bed, about inch and a half deep.
Any particular variety you can recommend?
Canadian Wonder.
That's the old favourite, isn't it?
It's a good one. You can beat some 1,000.
They've also in the greenhouse got some tomatoes which make mine look pretty sick. Well, what variety is it first of all?
Alicante.
That's a new one, isn't it?
Well, he's been going a bit, but they're getting a get known about it just now. It's a good one. Well, you can see that they're short jointed, one bunch up top of another. You see? There's 2 bunches on them where some varieties is only one. So far between.
And these are grafted plants. Now, how important is grafting?
Oh, there's no touching grafting. It's best thing is there is. Best invention whatever made for plants.
What actually do the growers do to do this grafting? I mean, what is grafted onto what?
Well, this year root stock's like a wild tomato stalk, and they can put any variety on top, any kind you want, on top of that graft. Well, it's only, you know about grafting roses. They're on a wild stock for sake of root. Well, it's same with tomato.
So you're putting all the vigour of a rootstock into whatever variety you choose?
Any variety you can graft on top of that graft.
Now, how do you go on with your beds in there? I mean, we hear all these stories that you've got to change the soil and you've got to grow on rings because of disease and all the rest of it.
Oh, I can't understand that what they say about not being as you can grow them in bed. You can see what these are like. And they've been growing in this bed for 40 years. But they've been sterilised with formaldehyde at first and then powder after Dazomet. That's good tackle. But main job is that where their mistakes are, they wait while about 10 days before tomato plants are coming, and then they start getting bed ready. That's no good. That bed was made ready last week in February, and then planted with lettuce, and then tomatoes were planted about 20th of April in between lettuce. And it gives bed a chance of settling and warming up for when you put tomatoes in. When you start and get it ready too late, it's too wet and cold and not firm enough for roots to get out on, you see. If you can just get out at roots when they're on plants, when they're on out and lift them out, that's no good. It's still soft and spongy. You want it firm as they can get out on it, you see. And there's another thing I didn't tell you when you were at greenhouse. That bed's full of moles at present, and they've not done no any. You know what moles are like. There's morals all over greenhouse.
And they've done no harm?
No, they come in for worms when it's been too dry for them outside, you see. Oh, you'd be surprised at them morals in there, and they were in last year, were being dry.